we're here once again in Freedy's dungeon with Any Given Monday. How's everybody's week been treating them?
Pretty good, man.
Gentlemen, hello.
Pretty good. We got the thing that we love back most, showering naked together.
Yeah.
Not at Arana Hills, you don't do that.
Oh, they didn't?
We got changed under marquees in a car park.
Well, that's Arana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
I would have been fucking filthy. If
Yeah.
that was
So
it.
when we won, everyone said to me, "Where do we go, Roddy, to sing the song?" And I grabbed everyone a circle and we sang it right in the middle of the field.
And then they said you just got to golden shower each other to fucking wash off.
I would have demanded a hose and at least someone hosed me in a paddock. Cause like, I'm not going home unshowered without seeing some
I
footy.
don't know how some of the boys did it, but
Well, I thought Brighton had a lot to deal with. Like,
Yeah.
they had
5 games.
especially with the Nicarima family game before us.
They
So
were-
they had a huge crowd.
Yeah.
But I showered next to Hoops.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best time.
I showered next to Jakey Morris and his large nuts were just in my face the whole time.
He got a sack on him.
Yeah. Oh.
Bro.
He got...
Jakey Morris.
It's like small scale elephantitis, I think.
Oh, that's it.
It's just like an enlarged sack.
Yeah,
Like,
if he ever gets like testicular cancer, they're bringing in like elephant surgeons.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a dick to ball ratio. Is like, I don't know, not everyone watches, but if you're on the YouTube, like the hand is the balls and the finger is the dick. It's just like a large pouch with a small worm on top.
Like
yeah.
a Joey, just
Yeah,
sitting out of it.
Joey.
His
out
dick's
there,
the Joey just sitting out of the
Yeah.
thing. Well, yeah, Hoops has got me covered. It's
As
not
does
saying-
everyone.
Yeah, it has does a lot of people. Yeah. I could name people on my fucking one hand that I've got covered in my footy years, but you know, I grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
But your right hand, bro.
Yeah, spewing.
Yeah. So talk us through it.
I think I got about maybe 30 seconds on the field. Maybe. I didn't get to touch the footy, which was like probably a goal of mine this season was at least touch the ball, but I come on. Jakey Morris, the coward, got taken off early with a head knock. Brought me on 2 minutes earlier than I should have been, which is depressing. So I break from lock and the big fella comes out. So I've G'd up from sitting on the bench for 20 minutes. I've tried to give it to him. And I've hit him hard enough. He's dropped the ball, so I'm up. I'm happy about it, and I'm a few pat on the backs from the boys, and we get in to pack the scrum, and I just start this sharp pain. I was like, oh fuck, I've done something there, and I can't move my thumb. Like it was just locked. It was locked in towards my hand, and there was a big dip in the bottom of it. I was like, oh fuck. So I
What did Ivesy say when he ran out?
He said, he said, what's you done? I said, fuck, I think I fucked my thumb. He goes, yeah. And it was like instantly, he was really fat, like really, really fat. He goes, yeah, just calm me. He said, doesn't look good, just come off. And I was like, yeah, right, fuck. I was spewing. Got off and went over and saw the ladies from WBP, and they looked after me and they put some ice on and said, if it starts hurting more, let us know. You've probably broken something. As soon as they put the ice on, I was in pain. So went to the hospital and they said, give me an x-ray. Said, yeah, you got a break in the top of your thumb there, and it was a clean break, and it moved a bit and shifted, so I had to they put me on the gas, which was pretty handy. It was pretty decent fun for the time you're on it. It doesn't last long enough, unfortunately, but while I was on it, it was good. So I was sucking on it like it was fucking going out of fashion, just dragging the ass out of it, and they had to pull me thumb into spot. Like pull the bone back into alignment as they plastered it, and then I had to get another x-ray to make sure it was right. But,
Well, you said when they were pulling on it that it felt like they were fucking reefing.
Well, I was like, because I was fucking high, like
Yeah.
proper high. So I had my head back, my eyes shut, and I just had I was hooked up to the gas can, so I was just big ones in and out, and I was fucking out of it, and I was like, I couldn't feel shit. And then there was one doctor holding my elbow and holding my hand up, and another one pulling on my thumb to pull it into spot because just to align the bone. And I honestly thought there was some big unit just fucking dragging on it. Felt like the strongman comp where they're pulling trucks and shit. It felt like someone was doing that to me thumb. And asked my missus afterwards, I was like, how much was he ripping on it? And she showed me, and she's just like, oh, he was just doing this, like just slightly moving. I was like, fuck. Dead set. I was on the gas and it felt like someone was absolutely tearing on it. So,
is it season ending?
I gotta go to the bone doctor at the Royal in 2 weeks, and if it's moved again, I gotta get a pin put in it, and if it hasn't, I get a permanent cast for 5 weeks after that.
And you got covered from work, like sick leave, or
Yeah, I've got plenty of hours saved up, so I'm sort of alright in that respect. But
we might have to transfer Clint's GoFundMe over to Dano. Eh?
Yes.
Now that Clint's in the clear, he doesn't need that.
Yeah,
shit.
he's healthy.
I was talking to a friend of the show, Maxie, this afternoon, and he said when he had his medical misfortunes, he said he came across there is help you can get through Centrelink and that, so I might have to just look into it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And through the JobKeeper sort of scheme, there's a thing as if you're injured and your boss sends a letter in saying you've got a job when you're back healthy, you can get sort of a JobKeeper style thing.
Yeah, nice.
So I'll look into that tomorrow.
Well, Keynes will be able to tip you up on that.
Yeah.
So. And your right hand, have you masturbated a lot with your left hand?
Not a lot. I usually just sit on the right till it's numb and make it feel
Well,
like
I can't get myself off with my left.
either.
You know, what about you, right, man?
What about let's end
No,
this.
wait, no, we're not ending this yet because I've got a good
No.
story. I've got a good story.
Oh, no.
My poor missus is gonna have some work to do. I tell you.
Oh yeah, she get ready for some sucking. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but anyway, when I had my knee surgery, I don't know if I told this story, but
Please
stop me if I have. Well, when I had my knee surgery, obviously I don't masturbate with my knee, so I'm all good. I've still got my right hand, but you were saying, Dana, they gave you no painkillers at all,
Nah,
which is crazy.
Nah. They said if I needed someone, I had to go to the GP during the week if it was still giving me pain.
But you
so
just pretty much jumped my bones for that volume over there. So
yeah, oh well, someone had to.
You might be he might be slurring at the end of this, but I'm boxed up on endo, and I never really had this stuff before my knee surgery. So pretty much that was the turning point of my life.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what I used to do, and I'm not a gamer, so I used to take endone, and I got a Sony 2, and I used to play Uncharted. I don't know if you know the game Uncharted, but I used to play that, and I'm not a gamer at all because first man shooters, what do they call them? First person shooters.
Yeah.
They scare me. Like
Yeah.
if I'm at home by myself, I can't play them because it's scary. It's like anxious. You come around the corner, there's people there, you have to kill them. Scares the shit out of me. So you said the endone was sweet because it relaxed me and I was all good for Uncharted, even though it's not a scary game. Like Doom would scare the fuck out of me. But what I used to do is I used to play a bit of that. Then I had the lube just in my bedside table there. And I used to pull the lube out, and my TV was set up so on the Sony. Remember that it was the first time I think Sony could go straight to the net, and then I used to get on, or maybe I slid a disc in. I don't know. It could have been Jenna Jameson, Firepoint, but one of Jenna Jameson's early ones. And then so I jack off, right, and I blow, and because endone makes you real tight as well, and I have a good nap, and then. I get woken up because it's when my mates got home from work. This is when I was share living, and my mate brought his new girlfriend home, and so I've got up and I've crutched it out and I've been like, "Hey, how's it going? My name's Christian," and she's like, "Oh, my name's Sarah," and I shake her hand, and I forgot though that after I blew, I didn't wipe any of the lube off my hand, so she goes, "Oh, what's on your hand?"
Oh.
And I was still out of it and I couldn't come up with anything. And I go, "Oh, it's lubricant." I jacked off before I went to sleep. And then from that point, she was off me. Like whenever we were in social situations, it was just weird as. She's like, "That's that guy that fucking just jacks off all the time."
Right.
Wow.
I could imagine where she's coming from. If you did it
That
to
is
me,
kinda
what the
weird.
Fuck, bro.
That's a very disturbing story.
Well, the first time I jacked off, I used lube, and I think it ruined me for my life because
Yeah.
I never not used lube.
okay. Good.
But right, man, getting back into coaching. How
Well,
was
let's
it, bro?
talk some footy.
How was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I helped out a little bit.
And you got that cup?
The Clarkey
Clarkey
Cup,
Cup.
Michael Clark Cup, that's played yearly between Mitchie and Arana. No, it doesn't matter whether it's ones playing ones or threes playing threes. You've got we get to. They hosted it. We still had the cup. We we kept possession of it. We won, and it continues to stay at West Mitchie.
And why is the Clarkey Cup?
Michael Clark was our coach at Mitchie and Arana. over the years, and he passed away probably 6 years ago now.
Yeah. Clarkey was manager when I was for Colts. So with mine Scraper's year of Colts, Clarkey managed us. Yeah.
Kimmy Ingebrigtsen said the same thing to me today.
He was a ledge. He's such a great bloke.
So they come up with this concept in 2014, and they held it at Mitchie. It was a big day, and the two captains that day were Andrew Scraper and myself, and we crushed them at Mitchie, and we won the first one. So I think they've won a couple of times, and we've won about 4 or 5.
Well, yeah, they beat us.
They beat you once in ones, and they beat us once in twos.
And Fats was the coach, and he was fucking filthy, and that was a sad
I think
day.
someone filmed that spray.
Yeah, that was an almighty spray. It was filthy.
And
it was El Pacino in fucking Any Given Sunday. Yeah.
No.
You feel
El
for,
Pacino was good. Fats just does this thing where he goes, "You weak cunts, you fucking weak cunts, you fucking shit weak cunts." It's like
he's like, if you want a dick this size, you got to earn a dick this size.
Yeah, weak cunt.
So
I feel for like Khaki Cup is also a thing. I feel for like blokes like Al Weller yesterday. Big smile, shit-eating grin ear to ear. Bloke who's played for a run.
But local boy, he knows exactly what it's about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's finally get back into playing footy. He loves his footy and gets around there, and he actually respects what it is. And after seeing the photo of Al and Ryder yesterday holding the cup, two blokes who know exactly what it's all about.
Yeah.
And it was good to see. Fuck yeah.
But right, man, I know the boys appreciated having you there, like for that. Team,
I was glad to be there and make a small contribution.
Yeah.
To the game.
Level 2 isn't that small, I don't hear. But
no. Did you bring any Uruguay tactics either? Or?
No, but I did.
You didn't run the water out via Skype, there was a little.
No, but I did shit can a couple of bad plans.
I heard that there was some filtering from left to right.
Yeah, there was. Let's just say I called a couple of auditables at the line. I didn't like the look of the defense, so I said we're going to can that idea.
Yeah,
and I brushed a couple of substitutions that were wanted to be made, and I didn't feel it was the right time to take certain blokes off.
Yeah.
So I put other blokes on.
Yeah.
Oh, these are all coaching tips you could pass on to your son, Daniel Lane, because I went and watched his boys this afternoon. It went well.
Did they end up getting to play?
Yeah, they got to play. They played over at Banyo this afternoon.
Oh, they just moved it. Yeah, that's smart work. Yeah. How'd they go?
Thank fuck. Stay off our field, bro. I don't want to play on it.
Yeah. It's almost too pristine.
I don't like driving past down Sanford Road because I'm worried the dust will land on our great field.
Yeah.
I went down to Banyo Savo and had a few beers with Fats and Jodes and Uzi and that, but the 16s played first Trimbo side and they got a 68-0 thumping.
Trimbo's side did?
Yeah, they dominated Banyo. Since
Trimbo's got a good little side, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, guns. And since they've aligned the comps.
So they pumped Banyo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought you meant they got pumped.
No.
I was thinking, geez.
So they've aligned the comps. So I think Trimbo side come from like a prem grade sort of system, and the other side the version coming out of like a 2 sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it was a high to nothing, but they played really well and got a good win. Their big centre, the dark fella on the edge, he was
the one that went down the Roosters?
Yeah, he was exceptional. Like,
what the fuck's his name?
He put like 13 kids on their ass with that big fend. And,
so he's already got the blanket covered over him by the Roosters, doesn't he?
Yeah, he must have.
They threw him a pair of boots and he signed on the paper.
I'd sign him. He's good. And then Laney's boys come out and they were versing South, which they were a very big side. They come out and they stuck it to him for the first few minutes. South got 2 quick tries in, and the boys had the head down, went into the sheds 12-0 down at half time. Laney must have given him a good old-fashioned bellyache spray or something because they come out in the second half and South scored 2 points in the second half and it was just a penalty goal to get him over the line. But Laney's boys scored a couple of decent tries and they were right in it. The young hooker Reese kept his eyes up, went all right. Jolie, the 5'8", played really well. Max the halfback, had a good kicking game.
Little Maxie. So we got him at Mount Maria. That's our halfback.
Yeah, he had a good little kicking game. The fullback, I can't remember the fullback's name, but he scored a great runaway try. It was really handy. And the forwards all stepped up.
How did Jack go? Jack Knight. He's one of the props.
All the forwards went well. I thought all
so
the
what
forwards,
was the final score?
18-10, I think it ended up being.
To
South.
Yeah,
okay,
so
unlucky.
They went down.
And they're coached by Laney, so it's
a lot of
good.
errors.
Yeah,
a lot of errors.
Yeah,
so I think as long as they can cut out the errors next week, they got nothing to be worried about. at the start of the game, after the South scored their first 2 tries, a lot of people think, oh, this could go anywhere. And then they did a really good job of showing up for each other and getting back into it. So I thought it was fucking...
Yeah, so if any of our listeners want to jump on board on that under 16 train or whatever we're talking about,
Yeah.
we'll be giving you weekly updates.
Aren't they 17s?
Yeah,
I'll go
17,
by,
yeah.
I stopped listening after he said
Yeah.
under
Oh,
something. But Keenan was meant to come on, and I told him I could pick him up. And I go, first of all, I said, no, Righty be able to grab you on your way because he said he couldn't get it. And he goes, bro, that means I have to do 3 fucking podcasts in one night. A podcast on the way here in the car, a podcast when I get there, and then a podcast on the way home.
I don't go to Albany Creek ever. Half the time I go to Albany Creek, there's a riot.
Oh, shit.
You're missing the point, I think.
Yeah,
you're
I
talking
know.
about.
I know.
But does Keno live at Albany Creek?
Yeah,
now?
he lives at Albany
I
Creek.
thought he was living
yeah.
local. Oh,
Nah,
yeah. Well,
Albany Creek.
fair enough, Righty. Fuck him, you know?
Yeah.
There's a new invention. It's called a car, you fuckwit. Get one.
Get a license,
Yeah.
cunt.
Or get a fucking horse, you silly cunt. Fucking hell.
Righto, boys, what do you reckon about the NRL this week?
Yeah, right
How do
then.
we think we
Yeah,
went?
it's good. Couple of upsets. Good to see. For Bulldogs fans, it's good to see them win the game.
If you're a Knights fan, eat your fucking heart out.
Yeah, and then
It's-
you've
it
lost
wasn't
your
pretty.
2 dummy halves too, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to hurt.
A lot of
Especially the way like he'd been playing McCulloch.
yeah. There's going to be
Yeah.
a bit of backlash.
Sort of the way it is now. There's a few sides with a few injuries, and teams are coming back to the pack a bit. And it's hard to write a lot of sides off, but it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds.
Yeah.
Canberra doing a fantastic job hanging in there.
Are they ever?
It's going to be interesting to see these over this next how many weeks we got left? 8?
9 weeks. 8
9,
weeks,
yeah. Over the next month or so, you got to be getting some wins on the board.
You got to be worried about the sides come good at the end of the year. Like sides that sort of avoid injury now might come unstuck at the end of the year. Sides that are heavily injured now that hold on, like Canberra, might just come back at the right time of the year, you know, and make a good push for the finals. Whereas sides like Penrith, who are flying almost injury-free, Parramatta have just got everyone back. You never know, they might come unstuck or they might carry on with it. But
Yeah.
it's not a good sign for the Knights, especially today. With a win today, they go into the top 4. With the loss, I think they sit at 6th, and they lost their first and second choice hookers now.
And
too,
what?
so-
Yeah, and you think this was their gimme game, you know?
Exactly,
besides
exactly.
playing the Bronx, but this is
Yeah.
their gimme. Do you want to just skip over the Bronx, or like have we done? Have we beaten
we
them to
beat
death?
them to death.
Yeah, I think
every
we've rinsed
time.
the Bronx enough.
One thing I wanted to say, I think I was already talking to you, Dan, about, or maybe Keenan on the way to footy. You know, when I was kicking my ute out
You won't,
sideways,
but anyway,
I was fucking sideways, bro. But you could tell that some of the players were like, oh fuck, I got to try to step it up. Like,
Yeah.
not Milford.
No. Melville was like,
yeah.
oh my god, it's a holiday at the back here.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking useless.
I Dearden, I love Dearden.
Yeah,
and
me
I think
too.
in a good system, he's going to shine.
Yeah.
Right, man?
They have to bring the energy they showed in that first half.
For 80 minutes.
for
Well, the
80.
first 20,
And
wasn't it? Yeah.
They'll get a couple of bodies back. I wouldn't be surprised. They've got to be due soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they got knocked off by the Sharks. If they knock the Sharks off, it's in Brizzy.
No.
They're against the odds. But, like, you've got to be due. If you add back in Turpin, you add back in Fafita, is going to have a point to prove when he can.
Okay, so yeah, for Fafita, sorry, mate, but how the fuck do you let that guy go? You throw your budget at him.
But
I-
Jarrell said this
Yeah.
last week. They needed to act earlier when he was first really fulfilling his potential.
Get him. That's what they did with Haas, which is why everyone just applauded him so much, because they saw Haas, saw potential, saw that he was going to
Said,
be
"Yep,
great, and said, "Here,
boom."
6 years, sign here," and he did, and now we've locked him up.
But
And then you got blokes like Fafita who are now just gone off. Obviously, the
yeah.
Gold Coast have paid way overs, and everywhere I've seen have said it is overs, but
They're going to attract players.
They're gonna-
But how much?
But
mo-
no, I
they're
don't think he attracts players like it's not like a Hayne move, you
yeah,
know.
but I think for him, like him being there with the blokes they already have, plus Tino, plus SESE, they've got a good young core now, and as long as they can keep building, I was talking to Walshy about this on the way to footy yesterday, with a forward pack of SESE, Fuasila Malawi, SESE, Fafita.
You said SCSE twice.
Oh, Fodawaker is the other one. Sorry.
See, that's that Valium kicking in, bro.
Big Fodawaker is
Fucking
the other
addict.
one.
Addict.
And then you got blokes like Kevin Proctor if he comes back, gets healthy. Ryan James healthy. Even Shannon.
Well, Proctor was playing today, yeah?
Yeah, he did, I think. But
They're talking
but
about him leaving.
as long as he's healthy, Shannon Boyd if he gets healthy, Jared Wallace if he gets healthy.
He's about to retire and go into the family business.
Who's that?
Boyd. He's played one game this year.
Yeah.
So with this, this pack they're building, is Ash Taylor the fucking good enough halfback that they want behind it?
That's the problem. Like
That's the big
they're
thing.
building this good young core, but they need to attract players. What they're trying to say is with Fafita in, that you might give people enough of an insight to say you've got 4 or 5 great young forwards and a couple of average outside backs. There's something to work with here. Maybe this might be the chance to get some names in.
Because even like today with Ash Taylor, like you watch some of the things you do, and I'm like, at NRL level, it's quite fucking amateur.
Yeah,
like for the ability that we know that this kid can have, and it's just like it's non-confident.
There's a reason he was playing cup when he was healthy, and everyone says it was like because his headspace.
No,
I don't think it was like it's.
Yeah.
He wasn't committed to the cause.
Yeah.
Like he's getting a paycheck. He's back there. We all know he has talent, but he's not leading the way. Fogarty's their main playmaker, and that's the thing. Like,
and Fogarty's a great player, but he's 26, come out of a Q Cup system. He's late bloomer. He might be a great halfback in the NRL, but his first 10 games he's played.
You need someone, a more experienced man, to be taking the rudder, and you've got old fullback. What's his face?
Brimson?
Corey Thompson. See, Brimson and that. Well, they'll add a bit.
Yeah,
but there's got to be some dead wood cut. Same as everywhere. It's right. It's like at the Bronx. Like if Seabold wants to keep playing this style, he's got to get rid of some dudes. He's got to get rid of some dudes and get dudes in and want to play the style.
But that's the problem with the Titans. You look at they had a thing in the paper, the top 100 richest of NRL players, and 5 players from 100 to 50 were from the Titans.
Really?
You got blokes. You got Tyrone Peachy, Kevin Proctor, Shannon Boyd, Jared Wallace, and Nathan Peets, I think.
Peets is on good money.
One.
Peets is solid.
There's 5 blokes who haven't really given too much to the organisation since they've been there.
Peets this year's fallen
you know what's
out of favour with them a lot.
Who, Tyrone?
No,
Peets. Nathan Peets.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know Tyrone Peachy?
Yeah.
He's got to be in the running for, like, if you had a Hall of Fame utility list.
Yeah. But
that motherfucker plays everywhere.
Yeah, but he did it very well at Penrith, and he's come to the Gold Coast, and he's played everywhere, but he hasn't been that effective. He hasn't given that much to him.
Well, today he was playing prop.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't given $550,000 a season to him.
They've paid overs, and they got these blokes there. So if you had said several years ago they were going to have Tyrone Peachy, and you're thinking, oh, geez, he just played an Origin series.
Yeah.
Boyd played went an Australian tour.
Kevin Proctor came from New Zealand. Ryan James
test
in
centre,
New South Wales.
A test second row, I should say.
Yeah.
These sort of things, you'd be going, oh, shit, how good.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't worked out.
Because they signed too much on potential. They need to look at, especially, the talk about the salary cap. Now they've got a lot of blokes on a lot of big money. Like, you need to sort of look at it. Now, you're very top-heavy. You've got, obviously, Fafita, Taylor, all on great money, and then you've got 5 or 6 blokes all in the top 100 richest. How much value are they giving your club compared to the side like the Roosters? Only had like 4 or 5 in the whole top 100, and they're top like blokes like Keary are like number 73 or some shit. Keary's on good money, but he's a bloke who you look at being almost top of the list. Whereas, like if the Titans can use. Like Fafita, if they use 1.2 million wisely, could they not get 2 very steady, solid first graders that are going to win you games? Obviously, Feeder's an amazing potential. He might show up each week and become one of the greatest young forwards we've seen. But could you not have spent $650 on 2 decent first graders like Newcastle have? Newcastle recruited great. You got for that sort of money, they picked up blokes like McCulloch and Guerra, and Guerra's been going great. McCulloch's been going great.
Sweet.
Exactly. So like that money can be spent in a lot of different ways. You can go out and buy a great young potential sort of player, or you can go out and buy some old heads, put around your club who are still going to do a job. But,
I've heard, definitely. With that Friday, the Thursday night game, was it the Eels Tigers?
Yeah.
I kind of felt for me, I don't know about you boys, but it was like the Tigers were playing well, and it was just a matter of time that the Eels just started picking up their pace.
And then they did, once they gave them the sniff, they got that momentum. When Campbell Gillard scored, like when Gutherson set him up, that was mint.
It was a bit Parramatta having everyone back fit and healthy after a week where they'd like to forget having that loss. They come back, they have Moses back fit. Madison comes back in the side, albeit for 15 minutes. Fergo comes back. Just a few major key ins that sort of bring the team up a bit, and everyone. Parramatta are great. So
they're allowed to get them. They're allowed to get them back into the game. You got to choke them out of the game.
Yeah.
As soon as they gave them that sniff, Andrew Davey, he's
great
offload to Gutho, who puts Campbell Gillard through, and boom, all of a sudden you got your mojo back, and you've got to. It's so important to respond defensively after conceding a try like that. You don't want to let any side get on a roll, especially with these 6 again rules. You got to get the ball back as quick as possible. But with these rules, that's easier said than done, because if you work a bloke on the ground, you give a 6 a go away, all of a sudden you're just chasing your ass, backpedaling. Yeah, but they showed what they can do the other night.
Was it the Eels game on the right side where I might forget who it was, but no one was there, but he just threw the pass there, and then they pick him up on the right. I don't know if it was the Eels Tigers, or it might have been in the Bronx game against them with the Storm. They one of the halves he didn't even see the play there, but he's like, that's the fucking gap. And
that was in the Bronx game. Jerome Hughes
just lobbed it over,
and Pappenhausen takes it and goes 30.
Gets to where he needs to be, but it was like Hughes was like, get here, bro. Throws it over, Pappenhausen gets, and then boom, and then onto him. Yeah,
threw the ball to the space, and he ran into the space.
Like that Pappenhausen, man.
He's a freak.
He's playing good football.
With the half situation going on to your Manly, Cherry Evans is going to be one of the most informed.
Oh, yeah, he's playing fantastic.
He had a fucking average game 3 weeks ago. Since then, 2 Stormers.
He was a very average game too, and he's professional enough to realise that it's his team and it's on his shoulders, and he's come out in the last 2 weeks and he's kicked teams out of it. Like last week, he just kicked him out of the game completely.
Oh, yeah. That try scored where he did over Brown and Lane didn't shut him on the inside.
Exactly. And
he's quicker than you think too.
They are well undergunned against a great Parramatta side. Once they got on top, he was never going to let it slip. He just kept working them over, putting them in corners, turning around, giving them just talking about. And then with Jake Travojevic there leading the forwards and Cherry Evans leading the backs, perfect mixture. You saw it.
Cade Cast and him a great balance.
Mate, Cade Cast played fantastic the other night.
It's going to be hard to leave him out. He may end up in that 14 jersey coming off the bench, but the thing is too, he could move Walker to the centres. But Parker and Sully are going well. You need an injury somewhere, like say on the ding, and to move Parker to there.
Yeah.
But
I think they're better off looking at having Walker as the 14, considering he can play centre, 5'8", probably fullback, maybe even a bit at lock if you had to. He'd probably be the better option, I reckon. Because Cast on Friday night was unbelievable.
Yeah, he would. And Haslam mentioned him in the press conference. Said happy. So they've got a big game against the top of the table Panthers this week, so they'll be up for it at
Eagles.
Manly.
That'll be good, man, because Panthers, it's like, what have their last couple of games been against ones that I've expected them to win?
Yeah. So and they weren't super convincing.
I don't think
tough efforts.
I don't think Sea Eagles are a 8-spot team at the moment. They're fucking up there, man.
Yeah. I'm like a bit of a roll and.
For me, like if up on that board, Dana, did we say like pretenders and like who we think at the moment?
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm thinking if I'd like to choose 4, I'd go Eagles, Raiders, Panthers. If I could go 5, and then Parramatta Storm. But like I like for some
Roosters.
I don't know. I think the teams like the teams like Para in that are going to jump. Will always.
Yeah. I think South are on the slide. Unfortunately for them.
I agree.
A couple more tight losses. They're just missing a couple of components in there. And
so, if I could, I think South are on the slide. If I could pick a 4, I'd be picking Melbourne Roosters, Panthers, and Para, which are the top 4 at the moment. But I think Manly are very close. I think Canberra are very close. I don't really see anyone else getting anywhere near the premiership.
Those
like
injuries
Newcastle and Cronulla.
Their injuries to those injuries to the Knights could hurt a lot because they'll bring in some other blokes and they'll have Tex back in the 14. But it's different bringing in a bloke like that in the middle because if you got to tackle all day, it takes away from him. Or if there's an earlier injury and he has to go on there, it means the hooker has to pay the full 80.
I just think like Manly are playing like they're playing like they're not. There's nothing to lose. You know, that's
they've done that the last 2 weeks after they'd lost their way.
Exactly, and they're not at the moment. They're not expected to do anything. With you starting the start of the season, your 5'8's gone. Your superstar, megastar fullback, who is arguably the greatest, one of like the greatest point manufacturers in the game. Someone who can just go out and score tries and set them up at will. Tom Trbojevic is out.
He'll be back in round 14 or 15 or I think they're looking at 15.
Yeah. So from the moment he went out, everyone expected Manly to just roll it over. So they've to do what they've done to get wins against top of the table Para and then keep soldiering on. They've done really well, and it's typical Manly, typical of Desi to just coach a side to just come in, put in effort, and not worry about anything else but what they can control. They're doing really well, and once you're playing off the back of Tapau and Fanua Blake and Sirenin and Thompson,
fantastic the other night.
The forward pack has just led the way. And
Marty's taken it up another cog because he was going good, but it wasn't.
Was your boner just splitting through your pants, right?
No. I thought Cowboys would be strong. And
no, I think they just cruised past them, mate.
Yeah,
Cowboys will win a few in the run home. Yeah. I think
they've been a bit disappointing, but once Morgan comes back,
he dropped Esam Masters, which I thought was correct because he leaks a lot of points down his side. That's where a lot of tries get scored on them on those edges.
Yeah,
and they went with more defensive
but putting a back rower and a reserve grader in over a career first grader, I don't know if that's the best. Obviously, if he's leaking points and he's not the man for a job, sure, drop him. But if you're putting a bench back rower into the centres to start, I still don't know if that's the option. Mitch Dunn's a good footballer, but I'd have Masters in there over him. Even if he's leaking points,
he does leak a lot of points down that side.
Yeah, he does, definitely. But the Cowboys are a good side. They just need to find their way. Now they've lost Drinkwater and Holmes long term. They really need to just look at playing to their strengths.
You get all these blokes back. Like I'm not saying they can make the finals, but when they get Morgan back, they get Val back, they get Drinkwater. It gives them a lot more attack, but it's just finding the style.
Jordan McLean come back would be helpful.
Yeah, he'll probably be back in a week or so. See, they're a dangerous side. That's what I think about Brisbane. When they're due for a win and they're going to put it together at some stage. They're a dangerous side to play now. I don't know if it'll be this week against the Sharks, but I wouldn't say it's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
You know, it's funny with Bronx is, it's like Denver, right?
Yeah.
How everyone, you either love them or you fucking hate them, all right? Because they're big machines. It's like, it's so bad now that people are like, oh, the poor Brizzy boys. Like, they're not even like, yeah, fuck those guys losing so much. They're like, they'll get back to it.
Yeah,
and you're like,
eventually.
Yeah, fuck me, man. But, who knows where you're going. What's that? Can you get a beer on the way back, please? Yeah, so, but what do you reckon, right, man, at the moment? Are you liking Melbourne for that, like?
Melbourne are going. They've seen what they've adapted very well. They're going to be strong. The Roosters, SBW's coming. It's going to be interesting what he brings.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about that. So SBW is definitely coming.
It's all but 100%. And he's put on his Insta that he's got to pack the family up and fly home.
So what happens with that contract that he had?
They've had to tear it up. The owner of the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
So because you can't be in the NRL, you can't be registered in 2 different leagues. So the thing is, he'll just go back at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, and they'll just write him up another one, the 1 year version of it.
Yeah. And do they, like with the amount of money they were on, do they cut it to where he stopped playing, or like how does that
would imagine so, because they're
ridiculous.
allowing you to go over and make money.
Yeah.
in the NRL, and that would be the thing. So they do an abbreviated version of the contract.
And he signed a 1-year deal, didn't he, there with Toronto?
Two.
So does
So
that
he-
mean, is he still going to honour that
yeah,
once?
he's going to go
okay.
back and play. So that's all.
So it's kind of like out the Orlandover. Like
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
like a...
like that, and they don't have to pay any money.
Yeah.
They have to tear it up, and we'll up a new gig for you.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
because in the UK, Dan, I don't know if you know this, but even in the UK, like Championship and the one below, can you help him put his headphones on? He's a fucking gimp.
Hang on a sec.
Thanks,
And
bro.
you think you're going to be able to masturbate with your left hand, bro?
Oh, you
can't.
mean like Elite
definitely
1 or
can't.
whatever they call it?
Yeah, like even
Yeah.
at that level, they
Yeah,
lend,
so like
they'll borrow
their version
players
of the
to
third
Yeah.
grade. Yeah,
yeah, they'll
they'll-
borrow players to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they,
Yeah.
you can do that. Like if you like,
We're
in,
talking Sonny now, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
But the thing with him, he was doing some good things, but he was underdone earlier in the year.
But-
You go back to the Roosters, they're going to prepare you better than they were in Toronto, and he'll have better caliber of blokes around him. Is he going to be 2013? No,
Also,
but he'll be very good.
the thing
But
with
if
that
he's been
is-
drinking Brick Lane Brewery, he
Yeah.
will be 2013.
Like,
The thing with the Bud is Sonny goes to Toronto on $4.5 million. I'm not saying he's expected to be the megastar superstar, come out and dominate, but there's a lot more being asked of him. Whereas if he goes to the
for
Roosters,
400.
his role is to be the old head, to
And-
show a bit of leadership to the young forwards. Imagine your Tupanuas, your Lindsay Collins, all these young forwards
This would
around
be
Sonny.
passing the ball to him. It's him.
Yeah.
He is a presence, and you'd be going like I heard Brandon Smith talking about
Yeah,
you know
getting
like
into him.
getting into him because he idolised him growing up, and everyone was that just know, and his work ethic's outstanding, and he could bring him a bit of X factor. Like you're looking at it like this. Robinson's one of the smartest coaches
Mm-hmm.
in the league.
Second.
He'll have.
Give yourself some credit, right there.
I just run water.
That you're talking about your
and
mate
offer
Seabolt,
advice
isn't
at the
it?
right at the right time. He'll.
I think it's the time where Seabolt can fuck off. I think. You reckon or what? Yeah,
It's
sorry,
gotta
Roddy.
be
Yeah,
thought
right,
We, we did brush the Bronx
yeah,
for
but,
tonight.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
I'm interested what sort of a role he's going to play. He's going to like how he's going to use him in what way, and there's going to be and how he's going to incorporate him in their attack a bit more.
Yeah.
Someone like was thinking, is he going to play like Radley? He could play in the middle like Radley in spurts off the bench, or he could come on, impact on an edge and give him because he can throw a ball like a 5'8".
My problem with that is, if you're a Chooks fan, you're looking at Boyd Cordner, who's Roosters, New South Wales, Australian captain. Great back rower, does everything you need. Like, he's a 70-minute back rower. And you got Angus Crichton, fantastic back rower. And then you've got another couple of great young forwards. Like, is bringing him into the side going to stunt the growth of a few young forwards? Is it going to take minutes off your superstar back rowers, Cordner and Crichton?
Well, you look at it too.
Like,
Cordner got concussed at training.
Yeah.
He's one head knock.
Away
off
from
not
6
play-
weeks, yeah.
Yeah, off
Yeah.
our bad thing. Like, and this is at training. And we play a collision sport.
That's what
So
I mean. Like,
blokes
having him
gonna
in the
get-
system is great, but if you're going to play him straight away, taking
I
minutes
would,
off these
I
blokes,
would imagine it's going to be as a middle
like
because
yeah.
of the reasons
and
you're
it
saying.
also an insurance policy too.
Yeah.
If Cordner does get a head knock, then you've got Sonny
and
who
all
can
of a
come
sudden,
in.
say
Him and Butcher can split
yeah,
that role.
you've got him
or
on
him
this
and
bench,
Tupanua
and how
or-
they'll do this, and he'll have when this is, and his preparation with his training will be a lot better than it was at Toronto's. And this is
Yeah.
not a fan. He prepared himself fantastically to go there, but to go to the Roosters and prepare with them, who are the 2-time fucking premiers, like this will be a lot different to how they were trained in Toronto. And there's no offense to what they were doing there, but you go into a top club in the NRL where there'll be a lot more sports science, recovery stuff,
and
they'll-
also he'll be able to manage his output because he knows the boys around him's output. You know,
Yeah.
like you know, as
Yeah.
you get, especially at that age when you like, I know as my brains come together like way later than I thought it should have, but like I know how to when I need to cruise out on the field and when I make that effort.
When-
I think Cameron Smith is the king of it.
And he did it
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
the other night.
Yeah.
When they were down on their knees, the old Bronx, and then him doing it, like just playing the ball in two hands. And I'll give a bloke a rap at Mitchie. Ethan Pringle, the way his sleight of hand with the footy, it keeps blokes thinking.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Around the
Yeah.
ruck. And those sort of things, when you're smart, when you're throwing dummies and holding balls up and the footy up and that, and switching it back to the other side and stuff, it keeps markets occupied and A defenders. Everyone's thinking about it.
That's why Ethan Pringle should be playing fucking Queensland Cup somewhere and not down with us.
Yeah.
But the man does like to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, and drink piss
Yeah.
and show up without kit.
And that's him, and that's what he likes.
Bro, just get on the chemicals
I
for a
remember
couple of
some-
weeks. Yeah, do the Clint Dolan diet, get all skeleton like fucking
Someone said to me,
Freddy Krueger, that shit would be sweet.
someone said to me the other day,
Straight up Ipswich Jets.
Someone said to me the other day, I think his size would hold him back in those higher grade. And I said, mate, at the Jets, he played some BRL, and the Walker brothers had him penciled in for a cup trial
Yeah, 100%.
to start in a cup trial. So he up for that. You know what I mean?
But he's the type of dude, like Heath will tell you, he goes, I just wasn't feeling it. You know, I
Yeah,
didn't feel it that
and
year to be playing.
I remember reading Shannon Gallant, a fullback who used to play at West Tigers and went to Cowboys. Short, quick bloke, still running around like playing local footy in Western Sydney and that.
What team is he playing in Western Sydney?
Was Campbelltown Eagles last time I saw
And the
him.
score on their last game, please.
They lost yesterday by 8 points. And then Gallant was in this debate when the rookie was on.
Yeah.
When the rookie was on and people were talking and interacting with the fans. He said that lifestyle of being a professional footballer, he goes, it's not for everybody. It wasn't for me. And he played NRL at a couple of clubs, like not fucking 100 game, but some people can't commit to it. And we all know like blokes super talented, but they're not prepared to make sacrifice and things like that. If it's not for you and blokes go, it's just that they didn't want to do it. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not prepared to buy into everything like the diet, give up the things you have to give up, and when you get your foot in the door, bust your nuts.
Oh, that's
just
it.
in case, and work your way in.
That's a major
life.
difference. That's exactly what Gerard was saying last week about Keenan. Gerard was willing to give everything up and put in the work, and Keenan wasn't, which is exactly the same with a bloke like Pringle. Like, it might just not have been the time, but if he was willing to give it up and
and he'd still be young enough.
do everything it is to make it, he probably could.
But then you just see that natural talent. You're
Exactly,
like, fuck,
and you're
bro,
like,
give me that natural talent.
Yeah,
And I hate- and
stop
I-
pissing on the wall.
And,
Yeah.
and I hate seeing blokes real gifted who don't have who are kind of, how would you call them, soft cocks, only have a crack now and then. And I think that's bullshit what you can do, man. You can do this on a regular basis.
Even with Pringle, I know a lot of listeners, you probably don't know Ethan Pringle, but he should be running around in cup. But even with his D, he fucking just puts his body in there. You know, like he's not.
And he takes when he's actually playing footy very seriously.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to whatever jersey he wears, he takes that seriously.
Yeah.
But it's the other stuff outside of the playing that he doesn't enjoy that. And he wants to live and he's peaceful and content. It's like there's a bloke, a friend of mine. He's a real alpha male. His name's Cal Stewart. Cal Stewart was 18th man for West in the reserve grade. An injury, Cal stepped in. They had a victory, and Cal was a massive contributor.
Was
I'm
he
sure
really?
of that. I've got no idea, but I'm sure this could have happened. So things like that.
I didn't know if he got any minutes.
He got out there.
I thought he was in Jeffrey's suit running him out in the
Yeah, well,
Panther,
whatever
and
it
then
was.
he got changed back
Yeah,
into his
well,
normal gear.
It makes sense because he definitely wouldn't have made a tackle.
Well,
That's for sure.
whatever it was, Cal contributed. But you got guys like Cal.
No, but Cal, honestly, yeah, he does fucking put
But you
in
got guys
100%
like
all the
Cal
time.
that are busting his ass just
Yeah.
to take that opportunity
Yeah.
once in a while when they need him now. And he knows he's not a dope. He knows
Yeah.
the reality of it and will play at Mitchell when he doesn't. There's some blokes who are prepared to do that. All those guys that go to cup, they're in a cup squad and they're going to have to go back to Valleys or Wests when they're
But
not
you
required,
know,
but they
Cal-
might get 2 games.
Yeah, but
And you-
Cal took that risk, you know. He went up, and then my boy Tom on the right side of me scores a double in Cal's second row
Tommy
side.
scored a double.
So
He
Cal,
was very close to having
I'll
a
give you
hat-trick
Uzi's
too.
number, and you've got to try to sweet talk him into a spot, all right?
Yeah.
When you get dropped back, but
that's-
hopefully you don't,
and-
brother.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like, you have to want to buy into what you do. And
Yeah.
then there are even guys in there getting paid and they're just content with being there. You know what I mean? They'll
Yeah.
train, they'll be in good nick, they'll do all they got to do, but they're content with that. They're content with being a fringe NRL player, just to say you're a contracted footballer. Where there are other blokes that are trying to better themselves all the time. And that's the thing with football. You should be trying to better yourself when you play. Whatever level you play at, you want to make yourself the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? If you've got weaknesses, say it's defence, work on your defence. And it's not hard to do. You spend 10 minutes after training tackling some blokes. You know, and it's all those things are attitude. Passing, if you have a bad side, find a mate and pass to that side fucking 20 times after training or before training. Get someone and pass to them.
Yeah.
Your line running, get someone to work with you on where they want you to get to on certain lines off the playmakers.
And that's the thing you got to give a lot of blokes. Like, as Freddie was saying, Tommy scored a double on the weekend, and Tommy's one of the blokes that frequently at training comes up to me and goes, "What's happening here?" or "What's this?" or what, like actually asking questions. And he goes, like a play gets called, he goes, "What do I got to do?" And you quickly explain it to him. He goes, "Oh, right." And then you never hear the same question twice because he listens and then does it. And then something comes up he doesn't know about and he listens, takes it in, and then you get blokes who don't ask any questions, and then you get there on game day or you get there at training and you're in a pose and shit breaks down because they don't know what's going on.
And there was a bloke, I don't want to say his name, but he was
What's his
playing
name?
the second side. No, I don't want to embarrass him.
What was his name? No, tell him.
I know.
Just
Say
do it.
it.
Just
Say
he's
it. We don't
embarrassing
edit this show. It won't embarrass him. He'll be sweet. He'll learn from it.
You know,
He probably doesn't even listen to this shit.
But he's only a young bloke and he's playing at Mitchie and he's never played league before. Yesterday was his first game.
Finn.
And of some game, but he's really improved his game on the training.
Yeah, his
paddock.
name's Finn.
But
Finn.
No, but I don't want to embarrass this bloke. But he got out there and it's an environment to training day to game day. You can let the nerves, you can just kind of be a little
He
bit
never
older.
played league before.
No,
Yeah.
so you get out there and you've got to learn from this and you've got to be open to learning things, and especially when you've never played before.
Yeah.
You're not going to go out there and play 3 games and go, shit, I've got all this mastered.
Yeah.
And he looked like he enjoyed himself. It's just, it points out at times where sometimes a coach needs to go to a lad, mate, come over here for a sec early on and grab a couple of blokes and go, listen, Freddie, you go dummy half. Dano, come with me. Run the lead for him, or show him where he's got to be when we're going downtowns, and just running a block for the kickers and that little idiosyncrasies that we take for granted because you do it so much.
But the cool thing about Finn is, so this is his first year of rugby league. He's played Rhinos. He done the gridiron thing. And I asked him at the start of the season, I go, mate, it doesn't look like you've done this before. He goes, no, I haven't. I've just always wanted to try it.
Good.
And then he's been at every fucking training, and he's gone from absolute
no concept
nothing,
of it.
Doesn't know, probably didn't watch league, to now he's
and
geeking out on it hard.
And there's the thing, if you watch it, you can watch on a Friday night a guy in your position and start, oh, he does this, so you take it there and we can fine tune that
Exactly.
and
right.
so there's a kid trying to better himself and play footy.
Even just watching a game helps a lot. Like I've been helping Laney every now and then with his 17 side when Maxi's away, and the fullback I noticed was out of position of like a fair bit. And I said to him, mate, just watch a bit of footy and just keep an eye on the fullback. The hooker Reese, I had a yarn to him on Thursday. They hadn't opposed against Trimbo's 16 side. I said, mate, keep your eyes up. There was twice I've seen there was one marker on the ground or 2 markers on the ground. You need to take those opportunities and go. When you get a chance, watch some first grade footy and notice and then I don't know if he watched it, but I watched Thursday night Harry Grant playing for the Tigers. As soon as there was a bloke on the ground, he's gone. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I tried to explain to the young fella. And I watched him this afternoon, and he kept his eyes up. There was a bloke on the ground, and he ran, and I just felt like exactly right. It's the same thing with Harry with Finney. Just learn from
Harry Grant. You can really tell how he's been super well versed in his craft.
Isn't he exceptional?
Just the sort of things that these don't just happen. These take a lot of precision at training, at high intensity, low intensity, just little areas like doing it without any defence, doing it against defence, things like that.
It's like what they're doing now is athletes. They're turning into Teslas, right? So Tesla's got that auto drive. So when they're a bit exhausted,
wondering what the hell we're talking about there for a minute.
Well, when they're a bit exhausted and stuff, they just turn that auto drive on, and that's their robotic state, and that's like at a level of a NRL rugby league player, and then they add their own bit of personality to it. He's
one of those blokes who has just got it. He's one of those generational players. I'm as a Queenslander, I hope to God he plays Origin this year, because everyone says, oh, he's too young first year, he hasn't done enough. Cameron Smith played Origin his second year, and he was that age, and he was.
And what you reckon him?
He was younger. I reckon Hunt could go 14. He could hit 9.
Maybe
because
that.
Well,
But
he's
then-
just shown he's leading the Dally M votes for God's sake, and it's like it's not an
Yeah.
easy thing to do. I don't
Jake
care.
Friend would have to be unlucky to miss the boat though.
But that's what that's one thing I don't like. Everyone says Jake Friend's been so good for so long, and he deserves a shot. I was like, if he deserved a shot, he would have got a shot. He hasn't been the best hooker any year he's played, or else he would have got the
He
shot.
would-
Yeah, I think Jake Friend
he was
is-
in the side last year and got injured.
I think Jake Friend
that's unlucky, the injury.
I
but,
think
like,
Jake Friend has been so good for so long.
Exactly.
I don't think he's been great for so long.
Exactly, I agree.
He's-
Like if he was
he's
good enough to be
sharp, eh?
if he was good enough to be playing Origin, he would have played Origin.
Mm.
Like obviously last
bet.
year the injury is that's unfortunate, and I feel sorry for Jake, but you can't do much about it. And when there's a bloke like Harry coming through, who's potentially the Queensland hooker for the next 10 years, why not? Like we're in this stage right now where we're almost at the end of our rebuild. Like we've had 2 years down. You put Harry Green in there. You get him 3 games this year, another 3 games next year, 6 games of Origin deep.
Don't. It's so funny how
it's
hooker's
ridiculous.
such a rarity, you know, to have
and
that
now they've got Reed.
exceptional.
What's his Reed Marnie
Reed
too?
Marnie, yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. He seems a good
Great
player.
hooker, great hooker. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I-
because like I remember, like for New South Wales, it's like it was Danny Badiris and then
It was-
Cook. Like you know,
I don't know. Robbie
think-
Farah did a good job for a long time, but he was also juggled
Bedsy,
with.
Bedsy was a lot better than Cook.
Oh yeah,
Way
he
better.
was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Bedsy, very good player.
Yeah.
Like just how he was that sharp, you know,
But the-
read things. I'm not saying
the
Cook.
thing
he's
I get-
He
he's
gave
smart,
great service too.
smart.
I get
and could
anxious
bang,
watching
could really
Cook, man.
bang a
Yeah.
bloke.
'Cause
When-
I get you don't know.
when-
I get anxious
when they
watching
get when they get
people
on
play
those
Cook.
rolls,
With New
Cook's
South-
speed kills you. Like
With New South
rips you
Wales,
apart.
they just had a lot of great sort of feelings. Like Michael Ennis was a good
Yeah,
hooker,
in a
and
suited
Robbie
Origin. with his-
Farah was a good hooker, and like blokes like that, great hookers. But Queensland had Smith, and now hopefully we got Grant.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well,
exceptional.
it's a big thing too with making finals this year, because if not, if you miss it, you haven't played a game for ages. Then you've
Yeah.
got to play. Then it's 3 weeks after the GF, so then they're going back into a kind of like a mini camp. You'd probably have blokes like they used to years ago before Kangaroo Tours. They'd have a train on squad. So the sides that missed a final or you were knocked out, you'd then go and pick certain blokes to go in this train on squad before they announced that after the grand final what the squad was. So that could be similar with what they do with the New South Welshmen and the Queenslanders. Make squads of blokes who are in the picture, a train on squad, and then name the side. See, because they're not going to name these fucking sides till if it's 3 weeks after. You're not naming it for a while.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
You're not naming it straight after GF.
Yeah.
Could be a week or more, week and a half after
Well,
the
you'd
grand
want it
final.
to be.
It'll be
'cause the
cool to
blokes on the
it'll be
piss,
cool to see the ratings and the way they do it. You know, like
Yeah.
see if the ratings work better this way or during the season. You know?
I think
I
either
am
way,
looking forward to
it'll
a
have to go
end
back
of the
to
year type thing, like something to watch late in the year. Be a different beast. I'm just
'Cause-
hoping the old COVID.
Because
Yeah.
as a product, I think like, and everyone everyone's got the ability to watch every sport worldwide now, right?
Yeah.
As a product, Origin is up there in like
Yeah.
top
Oh,
3,
Especially
you know,
now
like-
that we've made some inroads overseas with this current situation where sport's being postponed and league punched on and like managed to, and they're showing games in the US, like you'll see on Twitter and that, like how someone got like is on the game or on Facey, the game times to watch it in North America, like 3 games a week, like one Super Saturday game, one Friday nighter, and maybe a Sunday or 2 Saturdays. Like that, the fact that league is getting watched, people appreciate it more, and you can get a bit of a foothold sort of thing, like with the fans.
But and it's also with Origin, it's an out of competition thing.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
not like the Pro Bowl. Yeah, Pro Bowl's a jerk off. So it's like
Because they don't take it serious.
so is the All Star game. You know, with like Major League
But-
Baseball.
Well, there's this very, very serious rivalry and element to State of Origin, and I think it will go back to middle of the season, because I think
Yeah, I think so.
after the season it's sort of, I don't know, I'm not really sure if it takes anything away from it, but I just feel like we're going to cut in too much into our international sort of side of
Yeah,
things.
you're sacrificing the international footy.
Yeah, and also you're looking again picking players out of out of match fitness, not so out of form, but like you're picking blokes who haven't played in a long time.
Well, you're looking at like
players that have played too
injury-wise,
much footy, you know.
Like when you're looking at like a workplace health and safety type issue, that comes into that sort of category.
Yeah.
The Players Association
at both ends of the scales too. So you got a player who hasn't played in 10 weeks or 8 weeks, who's now got to come in and play 80 minutes Origin, as opposed to a player that's played all the way up to it pretty much. Someone who's played all the finals, the grand final, been busted, and then comes in underdone. So you got players who are underdone through lack of game time.
That's going to be hard to get some blokes up to speed for that first game. You know, like because you're playing one a week later, so you're back, but you've got to have get especially timing and stuff like that. Like if you're one of these playmakers, you'll train hard, and everyone will train hard at an elite level. But it's different. You're going into a high caliber game. It's so then such a unique feel, like and it will go back to Wednesday nights, like rating.
I hope so.
They dominate ratings.
Well,
like,
and that was my childhood, fucking sitting up on the Wednesday night watching.
And everybody has the old memories of watching the Origin, and it's just they've tried it on nearly every night of the year. I remember it being on Monday nights. It's never been Tuesday. It was on Friday nights one year.
Was that in 1943?
98. 98 was
You
on.
were 10.
Like that. Like I went to Origin there. Queensland won the decider.
Did you go out afterwards?
Just had a couple, and then I went to Brookie on Sunday to watch Manly beat Penrith.
You went to the Brook?
No, I went to Brookvale Oval.
Oh.
It was in Sydney. It was in Sydney.
We got any questions there, Fredo? What's the
You want to get on? So with the first question,
Right.
like we threw him up late because I had to actually ring Righty and remind him this time. But like, I was like, he was like fucking 15 minutes ago, and I was like, Righty, questions, eh?
I would have, but I was moonlighting on Kim's show, and then
That's
I got a
right.
pizza.
Oh, that's also jump on and listen to. Give it a plug, Righty. Like,
yeah, I was on Kimmy Ingebrigtsen's show. I've thrown it up on Any Given Monday page.
I'm gonna have a listen tonight, trying to get to sleep.
Yeah, like you might learn something. You poor dope. He was wanting to bring someone on the show next week for international footy, and I said, if we don't need to bring has-beens on there, blokes whose careers.
So why the fuck were you on there?
So like, I said I'd contact a mate, Mark Offerdale. See if he wanted to come on. A man I like.
Captain America.
Yeah, the man who was on the
Nobody.
billboard. The man who was on.
Captain suck on these nuts, can't suck on Jakey's
He
nuts.
was on many a billboard. The mayor of Gundawindi, as we call him.
And he's leaving. He's leaving us.
Oh, where's he off to? Oh,
He's off to the East Coast, USA.
Oh,
Really?
I don't know. It depends whether he can fucking get in. Like us passport holders, we can get in. But it's like if Jenna, I think she's got to go to UK and then they got to
that's a
sort
muck
it out.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
She'll play up later.
So the show I was on was TI Talks Footy,
With
and
Kimmy.
KI was hosting the show, and we had the privilege of speaking to AD Andrew Davey, who just made his debut the other week. Yeah, excellent bloke. Played a lot of cup. It was only 4 or 5 years ago he was playing A grade footy in Emerald. He's
Really?
28,
And was this on Zoom?
like yeah, it was good.
Did you download Zoom? You knew how to do that?
Yeah, got Don going, man.
Yeah,
it was
sweet.
all happening, and he was just telling us about his journey and things like that. And he was captain coaching at about 26 in Emerald. He moved to he got the opportunity to go to Mackay, and then they threw him a trial and train at the Cutters.
Sweet.
Killed it there. Like was there for a couple of years. Got a good deal to go to the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And while he was up there,
But don't kill all the content
it was
on
awesome.
there.
Yeah. We're trying to give you a plug. We're trying to tell you the whole podcast.
Haven't you been reading up on him the last few weeks? He's been like
I
ever
have.
since his debut, And since his debut, there was a good story on it. But anyway, just how he got there and things like, and it was one of those sort of unpredictable stories because he was thinking of giving footy away and shit, because he.
It's a lot of things, a lot of the same sort of stories we were talking about when Bergs was on a fortnight ago about how blokes come from come from different sort of
I don't
backgrounds to
remember
get into
Bergs
different
being
sort
on,
of,
eh?
That was one of the
yeah,
best episodes.
because you're a slap champ. But like,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. It's like different
geez.
sort of blokes come from different sort of backgrounds, and the bloke like Davey's coming in, debuting at, what is he, 27 or 28?
28.
Yeah, debuting there as opposed to a bloke who's been in the system. And I listened to Talk of the Town podcast, which is Chad Townsend, the Cronulla halfback, and he had a fortnight ago he had Toby Rudolph and Blake Brayley, who Toby Rudolph debuted at 24, who'd had plenty of jobs and worked at played up here at Redcliffe and
Yeah, killed it, man, a match in
Yeah.
GF.
and then bloke like Blake Brayley, who debuted at 18 years old and never had a job in his life, and they were talking to them together about the way they come through. And Toby, they're best mates, and Toby's like, fuck off, you've never worked a day in your life. And Blake's talking it up, and Toby's come from a background where he had a job at 16 like everyone else and sort of worked his whole life and just played footy on the side, and now he got a choice.
Scott's College in Sydney was a rugby union star.
And then
now, went to South.
Yeah, and then now they've sort of come together there, and they're two polar opposites that attracted. And
Yeah, there's just a good story, and it's well worth a listen if you want it. Like, it was only
Well,
meant
we
to go-
just heard it, so don't bother listening to it. Just listen to this one.
it was
get on
go-
TI Talks Footy and listen.
it was
to
only meant to
Roddy's
go for 40
interview.
minutes, and he talked to us for 2 hours.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
it was unreal.
Roddy, you talk very well about rugby league, so that's what I
You
think
know,
it would
like,
have
and
gone
it
on.
was just excellent to hear.
We pay you out
that-
about talking a lot, but a lot of it's very informational, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Any more questions here?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
gotta
we
be
haven't
some
even
more.
hit a question.
Yeah.
We haven't hit one yet.
We did. We got to one.
No,
didn't
we talked
I
about
don't think we
Kimmy's
did.
show.
I think we just plugged you.
Yeah.
So Kimmy, sponsorship money, please. So Reese Keto's put up a photo of
Joshy Spear.
Joshy Spears and
Jai Arrow.
Arrow.
Oh,
And he said, "Who wears it better?" And it's
Arrow.
obviously their mullets, but yeah, Arrow for
Arrow,
sure.
yeah. Man,
Can
you-
we put it up on the big screen, Freeds?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're definitely looking at two very, very well formed mullets. But I think Jai Arrow definitely takes the cake. Spearsy, you've done well. You come off the back fence a few times yesterday, and the mullet was flying. I loved it, but
played well.
I
Yeah,
think,
that's a good one.
I think Jai's got you covered there, champion.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
just too good.
Love it.
And
Love
then-
it.
And this is Oliver from Rugby League, in my opinion. This is for you, Freedy.
Yeah.
Favourite memory from 2013 and 17 World Cup. Go.
Mate, I think I've said it before. My favourite memory for the 13 World Cup was even before we got to the World Cup beating France. So that was the best thing ever. Like to knock off, they were number four at that time, and they asked for a friendly against us just to tune themselves up, thinking they were just going to roll through
Yeah,
us.
win by 50.
Yeah, that's
get the
right.
attack going.
And then so we got in there and just buckled down, and I was being expected to be a utility, and then what's my boy's name?
Corey Maitland.
No, Corey Maitland was injured before that, but the tattooed guy from
Ryan McGoldrick.
yeah, McGoldrick. So McGoldrick was meant to be fullback, and
Good
he
guy,
didn't
Goldie.
come into camp, and so I got to go straight into my position at the time was fullback, and we ended up winning. And the cool thing about it was the year after I played my season in France, so all my French boys came up and watched the game, and we ended up winning 20-18.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, 20-18.
Who, what are your memories of that?
Offerdale got an offload to me to score the winning try, and then they had one more chance, and then I remember getting the kick and then just booting it into the fucking grandstand, like to buzz time.
Hold on. You scored the game-winning try in an international against France.
Yeah, but
You
I say
never have told us this.
Well, yeah, but because the try, game-winning try, I don't really like. Offerdale went up for a bomb, and then Offerdale grabbed it, and then he flicked it out, and it was like I was already over the line. I grabbed it and rolled around, and then put it down. So it wasn't
Hence the term try. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't like I broke through and I was fucking stepped the fullback. I got it down, and
You're
then,
telling this story all wrong. You're supposed to tell us you broke 8 tackles
Yeah,
and fended
I know.
6 cunts.
Yeah,
in the
but and then
throat.
Offerdale looks at me. He goes, "Freedy," and I go, "Yeah, dog." Like, it was like, and then we defended out, and it was the first time, honestly, that I'd cried out on a footy field because I couldn't believe it, and that was that was my highlight.
Plenty of
of
guys who run off your passes cry.
Yeah,
Fucking,
yeah, for
Well,
days.
mate,
and
I
days.
was a fullback until I started playing senior footy. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's that.
Was that 43
What about
years
20?
ago?
2017 when you had a lot of local lads and you were quite underdone.
Yeah, my highlight for that was just I really enjoyed going over to Papua New Guinea and playing over there. Like, even though they gave us an absolute fucking spanking.
Seeing Corey Maitland and Sammy Carson at the Mad Cow, they look like they were.
That was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning how much rugby league meant to Townsville, especially. I think that's the heart of rugby league. You know.
Oh, it's funny that, isn't it? It is. You don't realise how strong country football is in some regions, and then you went from there where it's a footy mad town in Townsville to Papua New Guinea, where the whole small country it's like a religion.
That's it, yeah. And I just enjoyed that whole process. Obviously, going into that game, knowing I had no fucking, like, even my coach, but like before the game was just like, got us boys together, like offered Al and stuff, was like, you know, boys, you're just gonna have to stick with it. He goes, I'm very sorry with the position that we were in, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we run out there and it's like we're in a fucking tempered pool, man. It was the hottest. I couldn't believe it. And but I enjoyed that game too. I think it's the most tackles.
Lockie Lamb on debut got a double.
Yeah, so Lockie. Yeah. So and we had opposite jersey numbers, but I knew that was his debut, and he would want to swap. So I swapped my jersey with Hooker from the Broncos.
What's his face? He used to play for Aspley.
Yeah,
lives up this way. Baptiste.
Baptiste. So I swapped my jersey with Baptiste, who I was a fan of. It like I loved him at the Bronx. Yeah. So I remember I swapped my jersey with Baptiste, and we're both sweating. So we just take it off, put it on. And I'm walking around and we're saying thanks to the fans, because in Papua New Guinea, mate, they don't care. Like, they obviously want Papua New Guinea to win, but they cheer just for everything. Yeah. So Corey made an awesome break out of nothing, and they fucking cheered him, man. It was awesome. And then we're walking around the field. I got fucking, what's his name's jersey on again?
Baptiste.
Baptiste. So I got Baptiste's jersey on, and a guy comes running over, and he's like, Christian, mate, I just need to turn around. I still had the GPS tracker in the back of the thing, and they needed them back, because USA, we're not wearing them.
Yeah. Did they give a player? Did you give out a player of the tournament?
Corey Maitland.
Of course.
Yeah.
He looked dangerous against Italy, and him running off Sammy a couple of times, like broken play. Yeah. He knows how to light it up, Uncle. What's the big guy's plan? Is he planning to represent the USA again in the future?
I don't know. At the moment, he's just trying to sort out he's like getting settled back over here, and then we'll get him up in Brizzy, and then we just got to sort out, like, you know, we're getting 1,000 streams a week now. We got to hit that 10,000. Then he said he'll move to Brizzy.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be long before he's at Mitchie anyway. Once Dolan comes up with some coin, and we'll get a
But mate, besides the fucking footy, mate, the highlight is just the actual being on tour, because you know everyone in the world, everyone fucking would give up their left nut to do it. So it's just like the whole experience. Yeah,
you know, and you were unlucky with the you didn't draw someone you could have beaten, but like. That's the luck of the draw.
So, what's Berg say there, mate?
Is Christian banned from updating Facebook after 2 sips on a Friday night? I think he means you're...
Did you see what I wrote? Was it about Seabolt? It was the Seabolt comment.
I missed that one.
Did you see it, Dano?
No, I didn't see it.
No, I think Berg's, I think it's the Seabolt one. I was pretty filthy. I just sprayed. I said, like, because in a post-match interview, he said gooder as a word. Like, he was like, you know, we just got to be gooder at this.
And he's an intellectual.
He's a fucking teacher. He's a teacher. And I jumped on that, and I was like, so, like, they're getting coached by a guy that uses gooder in a sentence. So I deleted it after it, because I was like, fuck, it's a bit too hard in the paint. What else? Right,
Sam Voorhey.
What's he say?
Trick plays and why we must spend the warm-up learning them. Well.
All right. We can brush that, because Voorhey, you're a pest. We don't want to hear.
Nothing learn how to defend, cunt.
Nothing you have to say has any valor on this podcast. The real question here, Jackson Hooper goes, how many try assists did Freddie have yesterday?
Well,
great question. Freddie, enlighten us.
Well, every time we score, I always yell at Clint Dolan, try assist.
I think you had the one, and it was off Tommy's first try.
Yeah.
And I think you could have passed the ball to any of the 6 players that were there, and they would have scored. So.
Bro, I don't even think I threw it to Tommy. I just threw it. I was just like, someone catch his shit.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting albeit I was on the bench at the time. But
Yeah.
Freddie gets the ball, and there is 6 of us on the short side. And
Against
two
two?
of them, and everyone's running forward. Anyone who caught it would have scored. Freddie throws the ball, Tom cruises over, and he is screaming at the bench, "Try assist! Write down my try assist!" And we're like, oh, fuck. This cunt's going to carry on for days.
And Clint's always like, yeah, sure, mate, I'm getting this down. So we go, that was the end. So
DJ,
your
DJ.
account, yeah, DJ, fucking another one for me. Did Freedy play yesterday, or did the ones win comfortably without him? Mate, I reckon the ones would have won comfortably if we had... I reckon the threes would have beat them comfortably. So
I did hear they were twos. So
Yeah,
they wanted to play
they
twos,
wanted to
but
play
got
twos.
pushed up.
Yeah.
That's the way
They
it
weren't
goes.
great. But
So we definitely took our foot off the throttle in that second
we
half.
did.
But
It happens.
yeah.
It was, what was it, 28-0 at halftime, or 24-0 halftime, and end up 38-0. So we definitely let the foot up. We could have put... Yeah.
And then Dano shared the post and no one commented because no one gives a fuck.
Oh, well.
Is it time to wrap it up
well.
now?
What have we got no other questions?
None.
No.
Yeah, no.
Um,
good.
Yeah.
yeah, just how's
sure.
how's the sex life going, Dano,
Yeah.
with the misso?
I was going to ask you the
How
same
you gonna
thing.
do it? You're gonna have to do it on your back now.
No, it's all right. I'm used to working off my back.
Well,
It's fine.
yeah, we've just finished another cycle, so we just got to cross our fingers and see if that doesn't start.
Well, I don't have work for a few weeks, so if you can give you some pointers. So.
Bro, if I need some sperm, I know where to come get it.
Yeah, so I'm throwing buckets.
Right, man.
Yeah. all right.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. All right. Thanks to everybody. Most importantly of all, we got to stay smart with this COVID stuff.
Wait, before Roddy gets into a real... Sorry, Roddy. Thanks to Brick Lane. Thanks to Mates. Thanks to Overexertion. Remember, on Overexertion's site, capital AGM for the 30% discount. And then thanks for the boys that have been doing the pre-order for our AGM shirts, long sleeves, jumpers.
Yeah.
We're getting to a point where it's we're going to have to cut it, but please get it in before the 30th because we'll get it out to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Break it
Good
down,
stuff.
right.
Well done.
Stay smart during this COVID times because they've made a couple of restrictions with pubs and that again. Queensland's going great, but some other states aren't in as good a position as we are. So let's keep our heads on and not let things go to shit. Remember, get out there, spend some money at some of these pubs. Like, doesn't matter if it's a Ferny Grove Tave, even get down there and try and spend some money.
And if you pick up, I've been fucking in a mask. Like, I wear a mask while fucking.
That's how your missus thinks of offered up.
But I got a
That's
little
it.
hole for my tongue for when I want to go down.
Okay, no, sweet. All right.
Roddy told me to say that.
Local footy's back. I did not tell that goon to say that. Actually, there should be a few games on at West Mitchie this weekend. The Women's Rugby League will be down there.
3 games on.
3 games of women's footy. 2 games, both Mitchie seniors games will be played 5:30 and 7 o'clock. I think are the kickoff times. Try and get down. We need your support. Spend some if you want to have a beer and watch footy, or just come down to a game. Get down to Frank Lind Oval on Saturday. Watch the women's footy. Watch the men's footy. More importantly, just support the game.
And 100%, if you haven't watched women's footy, you see hits in that shit.
Yeah,
like they fucking
It's come in leaps and bounds over the last few years. Very skillful. Scored some great tries.
And then for sure get back in the kitchen after the game.
Oh,
you know?
wow. Freddie, you're a big hit with the ladies for that. We'll be back next week. Everyone, support the game, look after each other, and don't be a mercenary. Bye.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Ryan.
gents. Well done, boys.
Shit, we